What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is for USA Explained in 30 maps.
I'm not sure this one's going.
What do you mean?
Is it going to be like the maps with the graphs?
I'm guessing so, yeah. It's going to be like just stats with graphs. I'm guessing on maps. We're going to find out. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. But it's going to be like the most males are in this state or something.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Let us know what you guys want to see in the comments below if there's any other videos you want us to check out. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Smash that button, smash the subscribe button. Let's check out the USA Explained in 30 maps. What we got?
These 30 maps of the USA are explaining everything. Let's start with a really captivating one. This map shows the obesity rate in all of the US. But there is a catch. Firstly, darker colors mean a higher percentage of obese adults, which
I blame barbecue. Southern barbecue is
yeah, but Texas isn't too bad.
Texas isn't too bad, but the South is obviously
makes Mississippi the worst, with around 15% of the obese population. It's not that much, right? Well, this map is from 1990. If we move forward to the year 2009, this is what the map looks like.
Everywhere's
the darkest hues now signify a staggering 30 to 35% obesity rate. Colorado is the last state that is at the same level as the Mississippi was just 19 years ago. Fast forward to today, West Virginia, Oklahoma and Louisiana are the most obese states, with an astonishing 40 to 45% of their population battling obesity.
That is high, isn't it?
The next map shows how dangerous obesity could be. This is the average life expectancy in each state. Here, darker shades indicate a longer lifespan. Hawaii takes the lead with an impressive average age of 81 years.
I would, if someone asked me to which state, I'd have said Hawaii. You by the sea, it seems, I've never been, but from the stereotypes and vibes I get, it's very relaxed. Everyone's enjoying life. You get out in the sea, have a good time. I would say that's probably like the most stress-free environment and maybe happiest environment.
I'm surprised California is so high.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised by that.
I don't know.
But then is it rich?
But I thought rich, like a lot, I don't know, maybe this is just really stereotypical, but a lot of, I'm thinking a lot of like drugs and things. True,
no, that's true. Actually, I was thinking rich, you had more healthcare, but I see what you mean, dying of drugs and stuff like that as well.
A lot of people that have a lot of money turn to drugs.
Yeah, no,
not everybody, but like you see a lot of Hollywood actors.
Definitely, because they've got nothing else to do.
I'm surprised California is so high.
Yeah, I was thinking the opposite, but you make a very good point. Let us know what you guys think about it in the comments below.
Contrastingly, Mississippi trails behind, boasting an average age of 72 years, a notable 9-year gap from the Hawaiian paradise.
Yeah,
States like West Virginia, Louisiana, Alabama and more feature among the lowest life expectancies. I must say there is some correlation with the obesity map. As we know, the US could be a truly dangerous place. These are the most safest and dangerous states in the US. More blue on the map means safer, while red...
Yeah, we're going to Texas and California in a couple of months. If you didn't know that, stay tuned. So many American videos
I'm not surprised that Northern England is the safest either.
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of gives that vibe.
It's more of a richer, expensive area, isn't it? Which normally comes with less crime rate. Not always the case, but it is, isn't it?
That signals danger. The most dangerous state in all of the US is New Mexico. But what could be more shocking is that second comes Alaska, with an extraordinarily high crime rate. On the flip side, New Hampshire is hailed as the safest state, followed by Maine, New Jersey, Connecticut and Vermont. Now, this one could surprise you. This map reveals the most common ancestors of people in each state. At first sight, it might seem like a miracle that German isn't a prevalent language in the USA. Meanwhile, the South inherited a lot of genes from Mexico, due to its proximity and the fact that this part of the country used to be Mexican territory. Only 3 states have English ancestry as the majority. Then there are a few Irish, some Italians, Japanese in Hawaii, quite a lot of Americans, and even more African Americans, basically in all of the Southeast. But remember, we are talking about ancestors here.
Well, I just said more Ireland, more British, less German. Would, if someone had asked me, obviously not. I never knew there was so much German ancestry.
Today, the situation has radically changed and new immigrants are coming from totally different countries. Each flag represents the most common country of birth for foreign-born residents, excluding Mexico. Well, now we can see that instead of Germans, the states are dominated by Indians, which leads in total of 22 states.
Difference.
Some of the other prevalent nations are Filipinos in the west and Canadians in the north.
It's not surprising.
But what about
north, is it, with the border?
Yeah, just coming overboard, it makes sense.
the native population that once occupied this big land? Well, unfortunately their numbers have significantly decreased. Today, the Native Americans live only in small areas, making less than 1% of the entire American population.
Yeah, it's a lot less
Alaska
now.
has the highest percentage, with about 20%,
Oh,
while
wow.
Vermont, New Hampshire and Hawaii have the lowest rates with less than 0.7%.
See, again, I know we paused those, that's mad to me, because I'd have said, just off stereotypes, I'd have said Hawaii would have probably had the most Native Americans, and Alaska probably the least. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know, just if someone, my gut feeling would be that complete opposite.
Yeah.
So I'm getting surprised by these.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the money. The USA remains the world's leading economy. But does that mean that everyone makes good money? Not quite. This is the minimum wage in each state. And
Okay.
as you can see, the American dream
differs.
is not the same everywhere. The best place to start seems to be Washington, where you would get a minimum of $16.28.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
that's quite
20
high.
states keep the federal minimum wage of only $7.25, which is more than 2 times less.
Again, that's quite low, isn't it?
crazy. But $10 isn't the same everywhere. Consider this map showing the salary needed to afford an average home. Darker red means a higher salary is required.
Yeah.
Even though you earn double in Washington, you will likely spend double on more or less similar house.
It evens out,
Hawaii
doesn't it?
takes the
Yeah.
crown for the most expensive,
Oh, wow.
requiring around $150,000 in salary for an average home.
That's
Now the best
mad.
place to live seems to be West Virginia, with only $38,000 in salary needed to afford a house. This calculation is based on a 30-year mortgage with a 10% down payment. This time, let's wipe every state off the map. Do you know which of them was the first one? A hint is that it was somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
The first state ever was Delaware, established in 1787. He was quickly followed by Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Next year, another 8 states joined.
Quickly
Since then,
grew.
each state has gradually become part of the USA. Hawaii was the last state to become part of the US in August 1959, completing the list of the 50 United States we know today. Nevertheless, did you know that these are not the only territories under the
True.
control of the USA?
What you got?
There's.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, haven't you got like there's like islands down the
Yeah, so you got Puerto Rico,
like
obviously
Christmas
Washington
Islands and stuff,
DC,
like, there's a few American
Virgin Islands
yeah.
and stuff. I don't know them all, but yeah, there's quite a
US
few. isn't
islands that are
there?
about.
I think I've got some islands near the Philippines as well, or maybe they used to. We'll find out.
The one you probably know about is Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
which is not an official state, but an unincorporated territory with Commonwealth status. And there are even more of them. They have different official statuses, but all of them are under the control of the US. 5
Wow,
of these
loads.
are
is
inhabited,
loads.
while the rest are 9 uninhabited islands, atolls, and reefs. They are used mainly for scientific or military purposes.
Makes sense.
Now, when we have established all 50 states, can you actually remember them? This map shows how well each state is remembered. More orange signifies being more forgotten. Among the most popular
Obviously, the big
states
states are
are
popular.
California, Nevada, Washington, Texas, Florida, and New York.
Makes sense.
Meanwhile, easily forgotten states include Maryland, Iowa, or Indiana. Which state stands out as the most memorable or forgettable for you? Well, in order to know and remember a lot of things, such as names of the states, you need to be literate. What you can see now are states differentiated by their average English literacy as the
wow.
worst of
I mean, we've got an ad, and we'll decide. We'll dissect that in a second. right, this is surprising. Well, it's not surprising, but the most popular states haven't got. I suppose we've got a lot of people coming in. I don't know.
I think New York. I feel like because they're big, they're probably the ones where they get the most.
More diverse and stuff like that, I
from
guess.
different countries.
Yeah, but like they can be
They
small.
are the
Why
top.
is it
I don't know
non-small
why.
people in there? I say non-small literacy rate at least. New England makes sense. It's got higher education. We've seen that in other maps, haven't we? It's just very surprising. Like I say, the big four, which everybody knows the big four.
But I think it's because people are coming over to the Big Four.
So
and
many people
they're
come
not-
in.
English isn't their first language.
Yeah, true. But
Like the amount of diverse culture we saw in New York.
yes, but I suppose it's English literacy, isn't it? So
So it's people coming over there don't have English as their first language.
yeah, I suppose it may or more popular for people to come into. I
Texas,
get
thinking Mexico probably very big.
yeah,
Spanish,
California
kind of.
as well. And like I say, while they can be very intelligent, they're just the English literacy
Yeah,
rate might not be
in
as
their
good.
own language.
Got you.
States differentiated by the average English literacy. As the worst of all comes California, with only 76.9% of the population being literate. This means that 1 in 5 people there may struggle with reading or writing in English.
Okay.
Right behind California comes
It makes
New
more
York,
sense now you
Florida
explained
and
it.
Texas. Meanwhile, state that deserves praise for 94% of the literate population is Minnesota. Above the 90% level are most of the northern states. The next one quite correlates with the literacy rate. This map shows the number of adults who were incarcerated. I mean Louisiana and Mississippi.
Oh,
What is
wow.
happening there? They are the worst states by far.
It goes with the crime rate,
approximately
doesn't it?
1.1% of the adult population in jails or state prisons.
Wow.
Most of the southern states are leading in this metric, which is not particularly the best achievement. Point for Massachusetts, as there the number of adults in jail and state prisons is 4 times smaller than
So
in
the lower
Louisiana.
crime rate is though, isn't it?
It is
Crime
pretty
rate is
much.
lower there.
Obviously correlates with the crime rate. Although I would say, if they've got the people in prison, maybe we've got a better police force. Because they're catching them.
Yeah, but then if there's no one to catch,
That is very true. Like when you look at
sounds like it's safer.
it, definitely 100%. It's safer. There's less crime. I think the crime rate's a one to go off, isn't it?
Again, though, I'm surprised at California being so low.
Yeah, it's very low. It is.
Anna, good job, guys. Assuming you are not in prison and that you are literate, then you should be making money for your family. This one depicts the median income for an average household in each state.
Okay.
Darker blue means higher income, with California, Maryland, New Jersey and Massachusetts in the top places, earning on average more than
Then you've also
$80,000.
got to think here, how much it costs to buy a house.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
the high places so it kind of all balances out.
Definitely. Oh, like you say, it costs more in
It's
these
like,
places.
I think that's what we kind of say with the comparison between Jersey and England. Is yes, it's cheaper to buy a house there, but the wages aren't as
You get
high.
paid less,
Whereas we
100%.
get paid higher wages with the cost. It's just the cost of living.
Definitely.
So California, yeah, it's 80. You might get 80,
But as we
plus.
saw before, you had to
but
spend.
it's you have to spend most of that on your house.
Definitely. I think most of the time it does balance it out. There's not too many
There's pros
places.
and cons, I think.
Do you know the best thing to do? If this is possible, and this is not advice, this is just off the top of my head. If you could work technically in California and get a Californian wage, but work from home in a state where it's cheap. If you're working from home, do you know what I mean? Because then you're getting the money over California
Don't
because
know if
you're
that
working in
works.
California. No, but if you could work from home nowadays, working from home, if you always work from home, you went to a cheap state, carry
I
on
guess
working
you could
from home.
travel in, couldn't you, on a plane every morning?
Well, no, if you work
If
from
you, had,
home,
but if you had to go in.
if you had to go in, that's a different. But if you knew you're all, because some people do just work from home, that's a perfect scenario. But obviously, it's not viable for most people.
A year. However, some states earn 2 to 3 times less than that. Arkansas, Mississippi and West Virginia are among them. We've discovered that the more you earn, the more you spend.
Yeah.
This is the same metric as the previous one, however, adjusted for the cost of living.
Oh, wow,
This
look how low
changes the
California is.
situation. For example, California, Hawaii or New York now doesn't seem like the best places
Yeah,
to
now it's
live.
bad.
Minnesota, as the only state, hasn't changed at all, meaning you can still make good money there without spending it all.
Minnesota seems
Meanwhile,
pretty
in
good.
states like
Yes.
Florida,
The problem is with Minnesota, it's cold. It's very cold.
Yeah, but also you've got the Canadian border.
which is also very cold.
Yeah, but it's a nice country.
Oh, definitely, you could go into
I
it.
feel like Minnesota is like kind of comes out
on
top,
just solid.
across the board. So Minnesota might be somewhere to look at.
Mississippi, New Mexico or West Virginia, you are not only earning little in comparison with other states, but the cost of living is ripping you off any excess money you have. Now, pay attention as this one is crazy. When you see it on the map, you are probably aware of the fact that many people live on the coast, but the extent of it might be surprising.
A lot of people on the
Both
coast,
areas
isn't
on
it?
the map have the same population, even though one is about 4 times larger. Fun fact is that about half of the population in the US lives within 30 miles of the coast.
That is quite mad.
We can also totally change the view. If we divide the US into 4 quarters like this, each one holds roughly the same population.
Wow.
This highlights a significant imbalance between different regions.
Definitely.
The next map depicting the fascinating topic of population is this one. Well, what you actually see is LA County with almost 10 million people living within this area. When you put this into a broader perspective, we can say that each of the following states has a lower population than the little county part of Los Angeles.
That's mad.
Wow.
When talking about population density, why not take a look at who actually these people are? These are the biggest minorities in each state. At first sight, it's visible that Hispanics dominate the West, South and Central America. Now they are even forming the majority ethnic in California and New Mexico, making white people a minority. The largest minority in the East and Southeast are people of dark color, leading in total of 22 states. Meanwhile, the Native Americans are the second largest group only in 4 states. Hawaii, Maine and Vermont are predominantly populated by individuals of mixed ethnicity. Living in America could be dangerous. Unfortunately, crimes and murders happen every day. The following visualization shows the rate of homicides per 100,000 people in each state. New Mexico, Louisiana and Mississippi.
Yeah, say California is actually really low on crime rate.
It's just expensive.
Yeah, it's just super expensive.
As the top 3 most dangerous states. However, there is still hope, as some places have rates 10 times smaller than the worst cases. Among those are Idaho, Utah, Nebraska, Iowa and Maine, with the lowest rate of them all. Only 1.7 homicides per 100,000 people take place there. Yet homicide is not the only danger that lurks outside. Many people willingly put their lives at the risk daily when starting their car engines. Road fatalities are sadly part of the convenient transporting.
Per 100 mile, well, per 100, wait, what?
100 mile an hour miles travel. 100 miles.
Meter miles. 100 meter miles? 100 miles?
I don't know.
I'm going to assume we're talking 100 miles. Which, in the UK, you'd be like, okay, that's a lot of mileage, I guess. But in the US, people do that constantly. So there's quite a lot of fatalities in some places.
Yeah,
like New Mexico, Texas a few as well. I've got to try and drive in Texas. That'll be fun.
Nevertheless, it's interesting that some states tend to have even 3 times more car accidents than others. Whether it's due to driving habits or road conditions, data indicate that most road fatalities happen in South Carolina, as right behind it are Mississippi and New Mexico. Honestly, no hate, but what is happening in Mississippi? The winners of this category are Massachusetts, Vermont and Minnesota.
Okay, let's say Minnesota again.
Okay, I swear it wasn't my intention to speak badly about Mississippi, and I hope they will succeed in the following category, but they are at the lowest rank one more time. These are states ranked by their credit scores. Massachusetts, Vermont, Minnesota and New Hampshire take the lead once.
What was it with you in Minnesota? You look like Minnesota, aren't you?
Yeah, because I'm like,
it is doing well to
the US was safe, and I'm thinking Minnesota might be a possibility.
But Minnesota was awesome. Yeah, Mississippi. It's a shame actually because we've had Mississippi come up on so many things as kind of like
bad education,
a bad place. I can't say anything. I used to live in Rotherham, which is a super bad place in the UK. But it's one of them. If you're from there, you love it. So I understand why people have a guard up about it. Like, no, don't believe you, because
Yeah.
if you're from there, you absolutely love it. I'm the same with all of them. It is just one
It's
of
like,
those things.
I can talk bad about it, but you can't. Like, if
Oh
you-
no, I could as a joke, but also I'd kind of be like, yeah, but I do love it.
No, what I mean is like, it's one of those sayings where it's like, you can talk bad about it because you're from there, but no one else can.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, I don't mind people talking bad about it, because at the end of the day, facts back it up. But I understand why some people, like you say, don't want people to talk bad about the state.
Yeah, if it's your state.
Yeah.
Again, so far, these seem like decent places for life. Overall, North seems to handle their finances better than the South. I guess the long winters have an impact on that.
I suppose, yeah, less spending when you're
We
snowed
have
in.
learned that LA County is large, but Los Angeles itself is not the biggest city out there. Do you know which one is it? Well, if you have never heard about any city in the US, I bet you have heard about this one.
New York?
It's called New York and
Oh,
it's
yes, of
located
course.
right here, as well as its almost 9 million population. In comparison, LA City is second with only 4 million. The rest
So
of the
many
top
people
10
in the
largest
city.
cities in the US are Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, San Antonio, never heard of that one, San Diego, Dallas, and San Jose.
What was the shade of San Antonio? Like, wow, we're going to San Antonio.
California takes the spotlight again in the following map, which ranks states by their GDP. It's unimaginable how large is the economy of California. Its nominal GDP
Mad.
sits at 3.6 trillion USD. This surpasses the GDP of all countries in the world, except for China, Japan, Germany, and the US itself. It's
mad,
even
isn't it?
1.3 trillion ahead of second place Texas. New York State comes in third place with an
All three of
admirable
them are
$2
mad.
trillion. On the other end, the smallest economies are found in Alaska, Wyoming, and Vermont, with Vermont being
Vermont's
the smallest
low.
of them all, with $43 billion. That is 90 times less than California.
Still
Despite
43
this,
billion.
I mean, it's still a lot, and it's still probably more than some countries, but it's still low compared.
Then I
Vermont's
guess it's a
economy
good job it's a collective as the US.
Yeah, definitely.
is still larger than that of more than 97 countries
Oh,
worldwide.
97 countries, wow.
We have talked about the most common country of birth of immigrants in the US. But do you have any idea how many of them are there? These are the shares of the population born outside of the US.
Okay.
California, New York, and Florida are the most popular destinations. Meanwhile, nobody wants to start a new life in Montana, West Virginia, or Mississippi,
Oh,
which is not a
poor
surprise
them, poor
for me
them.
after this video. When you have a diverse population from different parts of the world, language can be a barrier. Excluding English and Spanish, these would be the most commonly spoken languages in each state. Do you speak any other language besides these two? If you are from the
Wow.
US, chances
lot
are
of
you
different
speak
ones.
German, French, or Vietnamese, as these are the most commonly found. Among the less widespread ones are Tagalog, Russian, the native languages of Navajo, Yupik,
Wow.
Dakota, or Hmong, Polish, Arabian, Korean, Italian, or Chinese. Going back to the old days, when Europeans arrived and established settlements, these are the oldest cities in all of the US.
Makes sense.
The oldest of them all
Just
was
colonize
found in
first.
Florida in 1565 by a Spanish admiral who named it Saint Augustine. Most of the oldest towns were situated on the east coast, as that was the site from which the Europeans came. But that wasn't a rule, as the third oldest city is located in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
I got
That's
the
a
last
bit
map
random.
here, but this could be truly the deciding one for you. This map shows all states with Springfield on their land, while the darker ones have even more of them. And that's amazing.
Springfield.
Well,
from the
I
Simpsons?
hope you
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't actually know.
I don't get that one.
Let us know in the comments. I think we've been proper stupid there.
Oh no.
Let us know in the comments below. I don't think it's Simpsons, but Springfield is Simpsons.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is it like that? Is that?
No, I think
Oh,
it's something to do with a field.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
I want no idea.
Hey, we're idiots. Smash that like button if you enjoy, guys. If you made it this far, let us know in the comments below what it is. Hope you're enjoying this content. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.